what is up, YouTube? So they said it was impossible. 3D printed arrow nocks. You can probably see those print lines. Now these aren't just regular nocks, they're actually speed nocks. They look kind of like the Fang nocks, but these look way more streamlined and better. Yeah, I've used these for about maybe 2, maybe 3 months. I just got an STL file on Thingiverse. It keeps getting taken down or whatever, and then it kept popping back up, so it's like, I don't know if there's a copyright thing on it, I don't know. So far, no problems except for I'm using bamboo nocks, or I mean bamboo arrows, and I have had them break here. Come on, focus. It's right there, but that's more of a user error. It's not the nocks. That's because I had to whittle them down to fit. So as you can see, that's a drastic difference. So no wonder why they broke. These really are carbon arrows. They're like the exact dimension. They fit fantastic. Look at that. Oh, that fits. That's great. That really is. And all I did was polish it a little bit and it fit right in. So the STL file came with a couple different variants. One was a hollow section here, this part, which if it breaks like this, I probably wouldn't recommend that. I would go solid. There's these also wide ones. Actually, let me show you one here. These wide ones. They're great and also bad at the same time. So they're great for getting a little extra speed, even though there's really not that big of a difference. As you can see, the interior diameter is only a little bit different, but the extra mass on the outside, they feel easier to grab. The downside to them is that when you're shooting, as your arrow's coming by, it bumps because this is sticking out. So you're going to get this lift off. Now it's not too bad, but these ones have virtually none. These skinnier ones. That's why I like these so much, is because speed nocks, the compromise is how big they are. I mean, if you're shooting like Lars Anderson, you're shooting nocks like this big, you know. You're trading accuracy. So these honestly are pretty close to flush. So, I mean, why wouldn't you shoot them? Why would you not want extra, you know what I mean? Why would you not want it easier to shoot without the compromise? Here's these extra ones. Now, I did do some modifications. It depends on what you're looking for. Like my string serving was a little bit bigger, so I had to do this a little bit because I wanted to stick in pretty good and lock. Rounded the edges a little bit. It's not much. You just sit there with some sandpaper and you're good to go. But other than that, you print these out. I think it took 15, maybe 20 minutes. I could probably get it faster. That was pretty slow, but they came out really good, so I didn't want to mess with it. Usually you have to sit there and make, on a 3D printer, you usually have to sit there and make things like 10 times, and then you finally figure out the best way. Now here's some regular nocks. These are actually hollow. Now, the biggest problem that people had with 3D printed nocks, and why probably no one's really done it, is because it's PLA. It's a different type of plastic. It's not that great. I don't know how well this is going to hold up, over time. But so far, it's great. Now, this is, I think, HDP, maybe? Some form of a harder plastic, a much better quality plastic. But these are, I mean, I am squeezing as hard as I can. These don't break. The only time they've ever broke was here. And that's, once again, user error. It's not the fault of the knock. Here's actually a thumb ring, a 3D printed one, and I've been shooting this with them to see how it lasts, and I've had no problems whatsoever. I just don't like this design, but it's pretty much the only good thumb ring on Thingiverse I've seen. So if any of you know how to make anything like STL files, that's much appreciated if you could do it, because I would love to start testing more Nocks, more thumb rings, you know, more archery products that just aren't present in the 3D printing world. Heck, maybe even 3D printed tips, like target tips. That'd be pretty neat. Maybe a whistling arrow tip. That'd be awesome. But I'm just not good with that. Now let's see what we got in weight. You're probably not going to be able to see this, but the regular, yeah, of course. So the regular one, 9.7. I got 9.9 before, but 9.7. Nope. 21.9 and 25.3. So that's not that much big of a difference between the larger one and this one. It's only a little bit, but that's double the weight of this one. Now the best thing about this is that they're customizable if you could do it. So if you want, the biggest problem with carbon arrows is trying to get weight. If you need, say you want to shoot 10 grains per pound, and you got an 80-pound bow and carbon arrows, it's so hard to get to these high weights because there's no modification room. Whereas a wooden arrow, you can just make the wooden arrow bigger. The carbon arrows, you're kind of stuck with what's on the market. So you can lengthen this section as much as you want, right? And just keep adding weight. So imagine if you just kept extending this and extending it so it's all the way up to here. You could take that in and out, and you can swap that with your arrows. That way you're not having a dedicated arrow for each bow. Like if you want to shoot the same exact arrow shaft, but you want to shoot it out of maybe an 80-pound bow instead of 60, you can make Nocks that would fill that. You could do this with tips and stuff, but the tips and the inserts, they're just so expensive. This costs nothing. This costs like 5 cents to make these, if that. So I love that fact. For people that shoot carbon arrows, this really gives them some customization room that is just not present. In terms of shooting, they shoot great. Absolutely great. I love the feel of them. I really kind of want them on almost every arrow I shoot. Like I said, the only time they broke was my fault, really. So I'm not putting them down for that. So, other than that, they've never broke. The carbon arrow ones, they haven't broke. They turned out really, really good. I'm so surprised at how they turned out. And I mean, the only downside is that you need a 3D printer to make these. But I happen to already have one. And they've come down in price so much. I mean, it's really... There's so many things you could do with it. I was very hesitant at first to get it, but I really don't regret it. I mean, it pays for itself, depending on what you're making. If you're just making, like, D&D figurines and something like that, you know, that really is worth the price because those are expensive. These Nocks, once again, the Fang Nocks, I think, are almost $1 a piece, maybe? And this cost me, whatever, 5 cents maybe, and I just have a ton of them. I have the same roll. I've been making figurines and this and that, and I'm still on the same roll I bought for 20 bucks. I don't even think I used half of it. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you like speed archery, and I know there's no products really, there may be like 3 different Nock types, and you know, you want to save some money, I think it's, pull the plug. I think it's really worth the price. You just get the Ender 3. I think it's like 200 bucks maybe less, maybe more, I don't remember. It's definitely worth it. If you just want to try these out, then no. Maybe if you have a friend that has one, have him make it. But other than that, they're great. Like, I wish we had more products on 3D printing for archery. But I'm not really good at 3D modeling and stuff. If someone out there watching this, if you could do that, you know, start expanding into the archery world. More thumb rings, of course, that would be fantastic. Different styles, different Nocks too. Maybe even tips, maybe whistling arrow tips. That'd be great. I don't know how good it's gonna last, but hey, it's something. So I'm gonna show you guys me shooting these. We're going to see. So far, nothing's happened. They've been great. You know, I don't know how much shooting I'm going to do and how much speed archery I'm going to do, but we'll see. So that's about it, me talking. I'll show you some footage now.